Time to meet the men from the Ministry. Join us once more for a wander down Whitehall with Norma, Ronald, Ronald Baddiley, John Graham, and the men from the Ministry, Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. In the Ministry's General Assistance Department, Lennox, Brown and Lamb often work round the clock, in which position they can see when it's time to go home. Their steady toil is interrupted only by Secretary Mildred Murphy bringing important news.
When you need a cheer-upper, Mildred brings your morning cuppa.
Thank you, Mildred. Put the tray on the desk, would you?
Righty-ho, sir. I brought your 11s a bit early today in case you wanted a nap before lunch.
Oh, silly thoughtful of you. I might have a doze in a minute. Build up some strength for my walk to the club.
Drink it up while it's hot, sir.
Thank you. Oh, it's rather tasty. Yeah, makes a nice change having oxtail soup in the morning.
Glad you like it, sir. But it's not oxtail soup, it's coffee.
This is coffee?
That's right, sir. Blended coffee, of course.
Blended? Well, what does that mean?
I mixed up Monday's leftovers with yesterday's.
Oh, Glory, in future, Mildred, just bring me tea, please.
I think I'll skip 11s today. I'm busy on this job for the permanent undersecretary.
What's Sir Gregory lumbered you with this week, Mr. Lamb?
It's a survey of civil service salaries. Easy enough in my case. I've hardly anything to survey.
Me neither. You should have seen my payslip last week. All them deductions for tax and insurance and all the other fiddles. By the last column, there was nothing left. And I've got to send them £2.50.
Of course, it's only like that in the lower ranks. Senior civil servants now get equivalent money.
Equivalent to what, sir?
Equivalent to their having won the pools.
Is Sir Gregory's salary on that list?
It certainly is one. I thought at first it was his telephone number.
I believe it. And he gets lots of perks, doesn't he?
Oh, what? Yes, free car, free access to the hospitality cupboard, even free access to Miss Bentwater in the typing pool.
Greedy old pig.
Morning, you two.
Good morning, Sir Greedy. Hello, Sir Pickering.
Oh, be quiet, Lamb. Lennox Brown, why is the door half open?
Oh, well, we were half expecting you, Sir Gregory.
Now, listen to me. I have some important news that will affect you all. An efficiency drive is to be launched in the civil service, which will mean drastic streamlining and cutting down of staff.
Oh.
There are going to be redundancies.
Redundancies? You mean some people might actually lose their jobs, sir?
Quite a lot of people will lose their jobs, Lamb. In particular, older members of staff will be asked to make way for younger men.
Older members, sir?
Indeed. Senior people like myself must be prepared to make sacrifices.
Senior people like Sir Gregory, you don't mean that...
Yes, I do.
How marvellous. How marvellous you're taking it so well.
Still, I'm sure you'll enjoy retirement, sir. I mean, you have so many interests, wine and women and perhaps even the occasional song.
Where will you actually be going, sir? Can I get you a taxi?
Don't be absurd, man. I'm not going anywhere.
But you said you had to make sacrifices, sir.
Exactly. I'm going to sacrifice a member of my staff. You, Lennox Brown.
What? Me? I'm redundant? Cast on the scrap heap like an old boot?
And not before time. Your soul's been worn out for years. Now, I told you, Lennox Brown, it's the older people who have to go.
Well, I'm not old. I'm a mere stripling.
Nonsense. You're past it. Not that you ever actually reached it. The modern civil service needs younger men at the top. Eh, Lamb?
Sir Gregory, if you're talking about Mr. Lennox Brown leaving, my first reaction is one of great sadness.
Quite right, Mr. Lamb.
However, my second reaction is, will I be getting his job?
You, Lamb? You have an amazing audacity.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
You will not be taking over from Lennox Brown. You will continue in your present post. Lennox Brown will be replaced by a computer.
Replaced by a computer? Me? A man of my metal?
Certainly, it's a metal computer.
Sure, I mean, that's adding insult to injury. A computer can't possibly do what I've been doing all these years.
That's what we're rather hoping. For one thing, computers don't slope off home at 4 o'clock.
Sir Gregory, I am flabbergasted.
Still, we don't wish to be harsh. We're giving you ample notice, so you'll have time to find another job.
Ample notice?
Naturally, you needn't leave for 3.5 days.
3.5 days to find another job?
Unless, of course, you decide to retire and live on your investments.
My investments?
Oh, you know, that £27 in the post office.
Glad you've taken it so well, Lennox Brown. We'll be sorry to lose you, of course.
It's all wrong, Mr. Lennox Brown. They shouldn't have made you repugnant.
Thank you, Mildred, but you've no need to worry on my account. Finding a better job will be no problem to someone of my caliber.
I hope you're right, One.
Private industry is crying out for men with my skill and experience.
Do sit down, Mr. Lennox Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Bright.
Now then, you're leaving the civil service, I understand. Have you been superannuated?
Oh, no, I've always sat like this. A little touch of rheumatism, you see.
Yes, I'm not sure that I do. You've applied for the post of financial director, but have you had any experience of merchant banking?
Well, yes. To be absolutely frank, no.
I see. Still, you're not afraid of early hours?
Oh, good gracious, no. I'm happy to finish as early as you like.
That isn't quite what I meant.
Huh?
Merchant banking, you see, is highly complex. Could you, for example, float alone?
Float alone? No, to be honest, I'm no good in water at all. No, I hadn't realized it was part of the job, really. Yeah. Oh, I used to roller skate as a lad. You know.
Thank you, Mr. Lennox Brown. I think that will be all. I fear you're not quite suitable for the job.
Oh, dear.
I'd like to help you if I can.
Yeah.
I believe, you see, one of our subsidiaries, No Claim Insurance, is looking for filing clerks. You might contact Miss Wellworthy there. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have rather a lot to attend to.
Right, come in, dear. Have a chair. Make yourself comfy.
Oh, yes. Well, it's very good of you to see me, Miss Wellworthy.
Well, now, tell me about yourself. Why are you leaving your present job?
Yes. Well, the fact is, madam, you see, the head of my department has a passion for change. He's a rather forceful sort of man.
One of those push-and-go types.
That's right, yes. He gave me the push and I go on Friday.
It's a shame. Well, let's see how you fit in here. Have you ever used a duplicating machine?
Oh, yes. I often borrowed it at the ministry to press my trousers.
Well, what about this pile of papers? How long would it take you to file these?
Oh, I could do that quite easily in a normal working day.
A day? But one of our clerks could do that in 2 hours.
Yes, that's what I said. 2 hours, a normal working day.
Well, I'm sorry, dear, but I'm afraid you'd be no use here with your Whitehall ways.
Yes, well, then it seems there's no more to be said.
Oh, you poor soul. You're not finding it easy to get work, I can tell. Your moustache is sagging at the ends.
My hirsute appendages, madam, are no concern of yours.
Well, of course not, dear. I was just going to tell you that they're taking people on at Arkwright's over the road.
Oh, really?
That's right. There's a notice outside saying men wanted for general labouring.
Labouring? How dare you, madam? I wouldn't consider such a thing in 1,000 years. Really, I've never been so insulted in my life.
Right then, next. Come on there, keep moving. So you want to work for Arkwright's, eh?
I might consider a position, yes.
Yeah, what's your name?
Lennox Brown.
Right then, come over here, Brown. You strong, are you?
Well, I like to think my physical vigour belies my mature appearance.
You what?
Never mind.
Well, if you think you're strong, try picking up that metal container.
Oh, right, if you insist.
Hurry up there, move yourself, Brown.
I can't pick it up.
Blimey, and that's only the lid. No, you'll never do, mate.
Well, I'm sure you...
Hopeless you'll be. The only sort of job you'll fit for is something in the civil service. Why don't you try them?
I still can't believe Mr. Elby's gone, sir. It was so sudden, wasn't it? An absolute the loo.
Yeah, something like that.
The office is not strange without him. It's not so cosy, is it?
No, having a computer in the map cupboard isn't quite the same.
I mean, the computer's so different from Mr. Lennox Brown, the way it wheezes and gurgles and makes old buzzing noises.
That's true. Mr. L.B. never gurgled, did he?
And we didn't have to pour oil in his inlet every morning.
Oh, there it goes again.
You know, I'm sure it shouldn't do that, Mr. Lamb. There's nothing in the handbook about buzzing like that.
Perhaps we should get it seen to.
Well, I tried ringing maintenance, but they haven't got anyone free. Oh, there it goes again. I hope it's not going to blow up or something.
Who are you ringing now, Mildred?
Mr. Wilkins in the next office. They say he knows all about machinery.
Ah, young whizzer Wilkins. What a good idea. He's really on the ball.
His number's ringing, Mr. Lamb. Look, would you speak to him? These whiz kids make me nervous.
Oh, all right, Mildred. Hello, Richard Lamb in the office next door. We're in trouble with our computer. Could you pop in and have a look at it? Thanks. He's coming, Mildred.
Oh, good. They say he's got a brilliant technical brain.
Ah, come in, Whizzer.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Lamb. What can I do for you?
Well, it's what I mentioned on the phone.
Oh, dear me, my memory's not what it was. When did you phone? Recently?
About half a minute ago, we rang your office.
Did you? Oh, well, I better go back to my office and answer it.
No, Mr. Wilkins, it's our computer, see? It's not working properly.
Oh, not working properly. Oh, well, I'd better have a look at it. Oh, my word, it's a fine-looking piece of machinery, isn't it?
That's not the computer, Mr. Wilkins. That's the hat stand.
Oh, is it really? What will they think of next?
There, look at that.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I should never have had those radishes.
No, that was the computer.
And that little blue light is flashing on the map cupboard door. That means it's trying to attract our attention.
Open the door and we'll have a look.
That's the computer, Mr. Wilkins.
Oh, I see what you mean. It doesn't sound very healthy. Still, I think I can fix it.
You're going to readjust the input and output programming circuits.
No, I'm going to give it a kick up the assessment unit. Oh, there. That's done it.
Well done.
The green light's on now. The computer's going to say something.
Not enough work is being done. Not enough work is being done. Lunch hour cancelled. Lunch hour cancelled.
Oh, I am sorry, Mildred. It's cancelled your lunch hour.
That includes you, Lamb.
Oh, dear.
Is that all it does? I mean, does it carry on and shout at you all day?
Well, not all day. It does more complex work as well.
Yeah, like this job we're doing on civil service salaries. We just feed in the data here.
And the computer sends instructions to accounts, stating what people should be paid in future.
Stop wasting time. More data, more data.
Oh, I wouldn't put up with that. More data, indeed. I mean, it doesn't even say please.
More data, please.
Oh, that's better. You know, I do hate a cocky computer. You keep it in its place, Mr. Lamb, or it'll get too big for its boots.
No, thanks for adjusting it.
No trouble at all. I enjoyed it. Gave me quite a kick.
He's right, I reckon. Rotten great lump of metal bossing us about. I wish I could get rid of it.
Sir Gregory's very keen on the thing, Mildred. I'm sure he'd never scrap it.
Well, he might if it dropped a few clangers.
But it never seems to make mistakes.
Not so far, but it would if we sabotaged it.
Mildred, what an awful suggestion. How could we sabotage it?
Easy, Mr. Lamb. All them wires and plugs. I reckon if we put a few in the wrong sockets, it could get in a right state of choss.
Oh, well, let's each choose a socket and see.
If Sir Gregory thinks the computer's no good, he'll give it the elbow and get Mr. L.B. back.
Mind you, it could have an odd effect on civil service salaries.
Here is the news read by Brian Martin. After weeks of careful study, new pay structures for the civil service have come into force this month. There's been some surprise at the award to junior clerks of £187,000 a year. And it's understood that office cleaners are getting more than this. But Ministry Charlady Mrs. Ida Brush told our reporter that she didn't think she was overpaid. She declined to say more as she was off to her villa in Bermuda. Salaries for top-level staff have also been affected. senior ministry officials will now receive 75 pence per week, plus a chit for free orange juice. One minister has already been standing in a Whitehall gutter singing "Buddy, Can You Spare a Dime" and playing the spoons. And in Parliament Square, the Home Secretary was seen wheeling a barrel organ with what seemed like a large monkey on top. However, this later proved to be the Chancellor of the Exchequer.
What a lovely surprise, Mr. Lennox Brown.
I say, hello, one. What brings you back to the office?
Oh, I just popped in to pick up my potted pink peony.
I bet you've got a smashing new job, have you, sir? Tell us all about it.
Well, I haven't actually decided on anything quite yet. I've had so many offers. Oh, my word, yes. But listen, I mean, there have been some odd goings-on here, haven't there? I hear they've had to cancel this new pay structure. What's it all about?
Well, it's all the computer's fault, you see. It disgraced itself. I'm afraid it'll have to go.
Yeah, Sir Gregory will want to chuck it out right away, and then he'll ask you to come back, sir.
Will he? Do you really think so, Mildred? Well, no, not that I'd necessarily come back, of course. I mean, I would have to think about it.
Oh, of course, sir.
Yes.
But he'll be asking you mark my words. He'll be in here any minute now to sack that computer.
He'll have to climb down and eat humble pie. I can't wait to see his face.
Ah, there you are.
Well, I could have waited a bit longer.
You realize this pay disaster has disgraced the whole department?
I know, Sir Gregory. Isn't it awful? I don't blame you for being angry.
Angry? I'm furious. There are going to be radical changes. The cause of this trouble must go.
Quite right, sir. That computer never worked. Perhaps they could use it downstairs as a tea machine.
It's not the computer that's going lamb, it's you.
Or they... Me? But, Sir Gregory, that mix-up wasn't my fault. It was the computer.
It was not the computer. It was the man behind it.
Oh, is there a man behind it? That cupboard must be bigger than I thought.
Don't be quiet, Lamb. You are the man behind it.
Yeah, but...
Computers are merely machines. They can't be wrong. Mistakes are made by the operators.
Yes,
Rubbish in means rubbish out. Just look at your record.
My record's very good, Sir Gregory. In 100 years' time, people will pass this building and say, Richard Lamb worked here.
Never mind 100 years. They'll be saying that tomorrow.
You're not going to throw him out of the civil service, sir?
No, I'm not. That would mean redundancy pay. No, I'm having him transferred to archives at Ballymucky.
Ballymucky?
Sir Gregory, is that quite fair?
What the devil are you doing here, Lennox Brown?
Well, I have called to remove my potted plant, sir.
Well, remove it then, and remove yourself at the same time.
Well, look, Sir Gregory, I must point out in defense of Mr. Lamb that he's not been trained in computer programming.
Don't be absurd. You don't need training to feed a computer. Any fool can do it.
You mean you could do it, sir?
Well, of course. Well, what's your current project?
The job you gave us last week, sir, helping the Treasury.
Yes. Restructuring Britain's currency.
What does that mean, sir?
Well, it's no business of yours, Lennox Brown, now that you've left the civil service. But if you must know, the Treasury feel that the British decimal coins are a little too small, and the pound note is rather flimsy.
Yes, they want the coins a bit bigger and the notes slightly thicker.
Exactly. A 10% increase all round. Now, the exact size is to be fixed by the computer. I'll show you how easily it's set.
Yeah. Open the cupboard door, Mildred.
Yes, sir.
I'll press the selector button. Lamb, you'd better adjust the switch on your end.
I don't think I've got a switch on my end, sir.
You're into the computer, man.
Oh, silly me.
Right. I feed in the data. Thus. The computer will now assess the new money sizes and issue instructions direct to the Royal Mint.
Data received.
Pardon?
Data received.
All this job needs is a bit of common sense. I'm no genius.
That's true, sir.
No, I don't want anyone interfering with the computer, sir. Miss Murphy, keep this cupboard door shut.
Oh, righty-o, sir.
Oh, and Lamb, you better come with me and I'll arrange your travel warrant to Ballymucky. Second class, of course, unless there's a cheaper rate.
Well, the canteen hasn't changed since I left, except those sandwiches look 3 weeks older.
Oh, I must say they're nice and clean, though. I saw Miss Foster dusting them this morning.
Miss Foster? Oh, yes. Does she still,
Oh, yes, all the time. Now, you drink your tea, Mr. Lennox Brown, and would it cheer you up if I pressed you to a pastry?
no, thank you. No, I'm afraid it's a little too late for that, and for me. Yes, this is the end of an era, Mr. Wilkins. The lights are going out all over Whitehall.
So it's the chop for you and Mr. Lamb.
Steer clear of Sir Gregory Pitkin. That's my advice to you.
Oh, I certainly will. That man's just a loud-mouthed bully. The last time I saw a mouth like that was on a poster for Jaws.
Oh, yes, and this absurd idea of his that computers can't be wrong. I mean, machines can make mistakes. Oh, my word, yes.
Even if they're properly set.
Well, Sir Gregory set that one the way he wanted, right? But he'd only need someone to creep in the cupboard and press a couple of extra digits.
Yes, but who'd do a thing like that?
Oh, someone who'd already been thrown out of the ministry and didn't want others to suffer.
Oh, Mr. Lennox Brown, you wouldn't.
I mean, we can't let the computers win, you know. I mean, Sir Gregory wants the coins 10% bigger. He may find them increased rather more.
Well, viewers, as you've probably gathered, this is Forth Robinson here in the Royal Mint. And today is launching day for Britain's restyled currency. The Prime Minister is here to receive a presentation set of the new money, and with him is Sir Gregory Pitkin, the top ministry man responsible for the change. And now the doors of the minting room open, and in come two senior officials rolling a large brown disc 10 feet high. My word, it's the new British penny. Much bigger than anyone expected. Oh, my goodness, the officials can't control this huge coin, and it's rolling away from them. And dear me, it's gone crashing through the wall. Aha. So now we've the mint with the hole. The Prime Minister seems to be arguing with Sir Gregory, but here come 4 more officials carrying under their arms what looks like a roll of green linoleum. But no, this is the new pound note. And as they present it, it slips from their grasp and falls on the PM's foot. Oh, dear me, the Prime Minister seems greatly affected by this fall of the pound. It's extraordinary, man. The new penny's 10 feet in diameter and the pound note's 20 foot long.
The computer made a boo-boo, didn't it? Thanks to my altering the data.
How did you do that, sir?
Well, I just added a couple of noughts when Sir Gregory wasn't looking.
Oh, I say.
And as Sir Gregory programmed the thing, he'll get all the blame.
Yes, mind you, I'm not a vindictive man. I don't want to see him sacked. Oh, no. I mean, if they'll just demote him to lift man, I'll be more than satisfied.
The main thing is they'll scrap the computer. Then Mr. Lamb won't be sent to Ballymucky, and you'll be back in the office.
Not that you ever really left one. We see more of you now than when you worked here.
They'll need me here when Sir Gregory gets the chop.
This way, Mr. Kite.
Yes, Sir Gregory. Thank you, sir.
Now, this is the room I want converted to a washroom. We had a pair of useless executives in here, but they've gone now, and... Just a minute. Why, you two here? Lamb, I sent you to Ballymucky. And I sacked you weeks ago, Lennox Brown.
Well, we knew you'd want us back in the circumstances, Sir Gregory.
Circumstances? What circumstances? I wouldn't have you two back if you came with treble stamps.
But surely, sir, after this fiasco with the new money...
The new money is not a fiasco.
Not a fiasco?
The new money is a triumph.
A triumph, Sir Gregory?
Of course, man. Don't you read the papers? Haven't you heard the news?
The Chancellor of the Exchequer spoke today of the huge boost given to Britain's economy by the new large currency. He told a press conference that as the new notes and coins were too heavy to carry, no one was able to spend any money. Consequently, the cost of living was falling sharply, and savings were rising even faster. In addition, the new money was proving useful. People were finding the 50-pence piece made an ideal dining table, while the giant pound notes folded over to make a reasonable bed. The strength of the currency was such that £1 was enough to retire on. In many places, money transactions have been replaced by a return to the barter system. Television licenses will in future cost £6 of sausages and a balloon. Actors have been paying their taxes by reciting Shakespeare to tax officials, and a comedian, buying a chicken, told his butcher 3 jokes and was instantly given the bird.
Would you believe it? Sir Gregory's been commended for this currency thing, and there's talk of the computer getting an OBE.
Oh, I believe it too. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Now tell me, Wilkins. Good Lord, haven't you gone yet, you two?
Just having a last cup of tea, sir.
Yeah. Well, as I was saying, Wilkins, you'll be responsible in future for oiling of the computers. Understood?
Oh, yes. Well, I'd better put me other specs on.
Did you say computers, Sir Gregory? You mean there's more than one?
Indeed. The first has proved such a success, we installed a second last week. They formed the General Assistance Department in the way that Lennox, Brown and Lamb did. Or rather in the way that they should have done if they weren't so useless.
Oh, come, sir. I'm sure our friends here aren't useless.
Useless, I said, and useless I meant. Lennox Brown was always sneaking off to his club.
And the computers will be different, will they?
The computers will be very different. Two smooth-running, perfectly disciplined machines. Open the door, Miss Murphy, and I'll show Mr. Wilkins.
Righty-ho, sir.
You see, Wilkins? Just listen to them humming busily away.
Bring me a cup of tea. Oh, look out, one. It's the Gregory. Come on, Oh, glory. Just as I was sneaking up to my club.
Good grief, did you hear that? The computers have been corrupted.
Oh, my word.
Corrupted by the atmosphere in this office. They're ruined.
Bring me a cup of tea.
Oh!
Don't panic, Sir Gregory. Scrap the computers and we'll stay on.
They're worse than us, sir, and we're cheaper to run.
Why not feed you into those machines are better than life?
Muddling through as the men from the ministry were Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Also featured were Norma, Ronald Baddiley and John Graham. The programme was written by Edward Taylor and John Graham and produced by Edward Taylor. Time to meet the men from the ministry. We're off for a trip in the Whitehall Wonderland with Norma, Ronald Baddiley, John Graham, and the men from the ministry, Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. The ministry's General Assistance Office helps any department that's overloaded, and its staff work as a closely knit team. So when Secretary Mildred returns from a week off sick, Lennox, Brown and Lamb eagerly welcome her back.
Are you sure you're fully recovered, Mildred? I thought the doctor told you to stay in bed for a fortnight and he'd call every day.
Yeah, but it turned out he got it all wrong. Mum told him on the phone I'd a dry sensation. He thought she said I was a private patient.
Oh, dear, what a nuisance.
Well, that's what he said the third time he called. He found I was National Health. So he snatched back his medicine and signed me fit for work.
Mildred, did you take that stuff that I gave you?
I tried, sir, but I couldn't get at it.
Couldn't get at it?
No. It said on the label, keep bottle tightly corked.
Oh, glory. Still, you seem to be all right, I must say.
Oh, yeah, I reckon the rest did me good.
Yes. Well, that reminds me, I think I'll have my annual bout of flu at the end of this month. Weather should be better by then.
Oh, righty-ho, sir. I'll put it in your diary.
Thanks.
I remember as a child my mother gave me cod liver oil to keep colds away. She'd put sixpence in my piggy bank each time I took a spoonful.
Oh, isn't that sweet? And when your piggy was full, she gave you all the money.
No, she took it to buy more cod liver oil.
What were you up to while I was away, sir?
We've been helping the Arts Council.
Oh.
Yes, they were running an exhibition of modern art at the Tate Gallery.
Modern art, eh?
Yes.
Well, they were empty milk bottles, actually. But they'd paid this artist a lot of money to arrange them artistically.
Was it a success, sir?
Not entirely. Some idiot milkman called and didn't know it was art. He took the lot away and left a raspberry yoghurt.
Mr. Wilkins was saying in the lift you'd been involved with some ballet company.
Oh, yes. Yes, a new group called the Ballet Liberty. The Arts Council asked us to organise their tour.
In Britain?
Well, it was supposed to be. The home counties, actually, are starting in Bagshot. Unfortunately, Mr. Lamb misunderstood and sent them to Bangkok.
I must say they turned quite nasty.
However, I managed to sort things out, you know. They open tomorrow at the Town Hall, Kingston.
So all's well that ends well, and we've no jobs left to do.
Well, perhaps the permanent undersecretary will give you a few days off.
Oh, a few days off, Sir Gregory.
Sir Gregory.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Do come in, Sir Gregory, won't you?
Nice of you to creep in so unexpectedly, sir.
Don't cut the cackle, man. Now, have you completed that Arts Council business?
Indeed, sir, yes. The ballet tour is in hand.
In fact, sir, we're unexpectedly vacant. We wondered if we might have a few days off.
No.
Oh, well, thanks for discussing it anyway.
Days off, indeed. I gave you a day off a while ago.
Yes, sir. When Japan surrendered.
Some other department will need your peculiar skills before long.
Yes. Yeah. I don't like your cough, Sir Gregory.
No, I'm not very fond of it myself.
Perhaps it's all those cigars you smoke, sir.
Well, I've read 4 books on how to give up smoking.
And you've given up smoking?
No, I've given up reading.
Oh, well, I have some medical knowledge, you know, sir. Oh, yes. I did a first aid course during the war.
Did you, Lennox Brown?
I had to, sir. Yes, there was a high casualty rate in my area.
You were in the infantry?
No, I was in the catering corps. And in my expert opinion, sir, the best way to cure a cough is to spread some goose grease on the chest.
Ah, rubbish. I have my own cough cure, a Scotch cocktail.
A Scotch cocktail, sir? What's that?
Half a glass of whiskey with another half added.
Oh. Well, that's very efficacious, I'm sure, sir, yes. But I'd also recommend, I really would, sir, I would recommend the goose grease.
Well, now I come to think of it, if you know so much about medical matters, you can tackle some jobs for the Department of Health.
Oh, we wouldn't say no, sir.
I was going to give these assignments to Mr. Wilkins next door, but he has some trouble with his legs.
Yes, every time there's work about, they go out of control and hurry him home.
Well, we should be happy to take on these tasks, sir.
You'll be in charge of servicing and supplying one of the big national health hospitals, St. Hernias.
I see, sir.
All the details are in this file, and there must be no mistakes. We cannot afford slip-ups in the hospital area.
You mean we mustn't fall down on medical grounds?
If you do, there's no doctor on earth who can save you.
Thank you, sir. Doesn't have much sense of humor, does he?
No. Last time I saw a face like that, Lester Piggott was riding behind it.
What have you got to do for this hospital, sir?
Well, let's have a look at the file and find out. Yes. Oh, it seems the boiler men are complaining that their shoes are damaged by hot coal and ashes.
Heavy industrial boots, that's what they need.
Good thinking, that, too.
Thank you.
Good thinking. That. Order some at once, will
Yes.
you? And we'll send them some safety pamphlets.
I'll deal with that right away.
Yes. Now then, what else is there? It seems St. Hernia's Family Planning Clinic want further supplies.
Sorry I'm late, one.
I was here, sharp at 11. There's another job for St. Hernia's, too. It seems they have trouble with their central heating.
Oh, dear.
Apparently there's a big crack in one of the main pipes. It's going to need skilled treatment.
What sort of skilled treatment?
I'm suggesting they bind it up with sticky tape.
Good idea.
The whole system's worn out. It should really be replaced. But with the health service so short of money, we'll have to settle for an overhaul.
Here we are, lovely cup of chai.
Oh, thank you, Mildred.
Thank you, Mildred. Oh, tastes like dishwater.
Perhaps it's time we had a new tea bag.
Yes, we've had that one since Christmas. And then it came second-hand from Fatty Scott's.
Yeah, well, righty-ho, sir. Oh, here. That stuff in the bowl. Is it glue or very old mushroom soup?
Now that's goose grease, Mildred. I brought it in for Sir Gregory's chest. Marvellous stuff. Cures coughs and colds, just like magic.
It smells blooming horrible.
Sir Gregory might prefer to keep the cough.
Now don't touch it, Mildred. You might just knock it over and spill it.
She has knocked it over and spilt it.
Oh, well, never mind. I'll mop it up later.
Well, why can't you leave things alone, Mildred? Sometimes this place is like a circus. General Assistance Department, Lennox Brown.
This is Seamus O'Toole here, boiler foreman, St. Hernia's Hospital.
Oh, yes, Mr. O'Toole. Well, can I help you?
Sure, and you'd better be after helping me, or there'll be more trouble than there is already after being.
Odd chap. Sounds Welsh to me. What exactly is the trouble, Mr. O'Toole?
Isn't it on your orders my boilermen have been issued with family planning pills?
What?
Some of the lads aren't even married. And what about the industrial boots you promised us?
Oh, I'm afraid, Mr. O'Toole, there may have been a slight error.
Be shavers, if you're not after sorting this out at once, or even sooner, I'll take it up with the highest authority.
Michael Parkinson?
No, the Minister of State for Health, or even someone in the government.
Yes, well, I'll see what I can do, and they... Oh, he's gone. Oh, dear me. The boilermen got family planning stuff instead of industrial boots.
Well, that's not too serious. They can have their boots today.
Here, just a minute.
Yes?
If the boilermen got the pills, the boots and pamphlets must have gone to St. Hernia's clinic.
Oh, dear. If Sir Gregory hears about that, he could be rather cross.
Now then, you two.
He has heard about it.
Sir Gregory, please, now, don't jump to conclusions.
The only jumping I'm going to do is down your throat, Lennox Brown. And as for you, Lamb, I've no doubt you're equally culpable.
Thank you, Sir Gregory, but I'm just as much to blame as he is.
Oh, be quiet. I've just had a call from St. Hernia's Family Planning Clinic.
They don't hang about, do they?
On your instructions, women seeking family planning help are being given heavy industrial boots with attached instructions.
Instructions? What do they say?
This. As a precautionary measure, wear these boots. For complete safety, boots should not be removed until all activity has ceased.
Oh, I see.
Women were also handed pamphlets saying, "Stay out of trouble, keep an eye on the foreman."
If you'll give us back the boots, sir, we'll put things right.
Boots? The only boot you'll get will be mine when it hurts most. Let me get my hands on you.
Run for it, Mother.
I'll tear you to pieces.
Oh, look out, Sir Gregory, you'll slip on the...
Ah!
Oh, goose grease.
Oh, dear, he slipped on the goose grease. Perhaps you shouldn't have brought it here.
Well, it's for Sir Gregory's cough. I just wanted to give him a leg up.
Well, his leg's sticking up all right, but the rest of him sort of crumples. I hadn't realized St. Hernia's Hospital was so big.
Yes, it's enormous, isn't it? Yeah. I think the Eliza Lott ward should be just down here. I heard it was the most comfortable, so I pulled a few strings, to get Sir Gregory in there.
I suppose it's the least we could do. A broken leg's an awful nuisance. I've brought some fruit for Sir Gregory, like you said.
Oh, yeah, well, I just hope he likes rhubarb. And you've got the files on that other problem?
Yes, they're all here. After we've cheered up Sir Gregory, we can go and report on the central heating.
Right. Oh, wait a minute. I think that's the ward. I'll just ask this lady here. Excuse me, nurse.
I am not a nurse.
Oh.
I'm the senior sister. And who said you could get out of bed? You're in no condition to be walking about.
We're not patients, madam. We're from the ministry. We're here to see our colleague, Sir Gregory Pitkin.
From the ministry, eh?
Yes.
No doubt it was you who insisted he should go into the Eliza Lott ward. Most irregular, you know.
Now, you must allow us to decide that, sister. Just tell us where to find him, please.
He's in the end bed there, huddled under the bedclothes.
Thank you. Come along, too. He's over here.
Now, won't Sir Gregory be surprised to see us?
Oh, no! Not you two.
Yes, he can hardly believe his luck. Hello, Sir Gregory. Hello to you, sir. Hello. We've come to see how you're getting on, sir.
Oh,
We're here to bring a little sunshine into your life.
That's right.
And we've brought you some fruit.
a stick of rhubarb? What the devil can I do with this?
Well...
Don't say another word. You not only broke my leg, you forced the authorities to put me in this ward.
It's nice and sunny, Sir Gregory.
And lots of charming ladies.
Damn it, man! It's a maternity ward.
Oh, dear, is it?
Well, what do you think I'm hiding under the bedclothes?
You'll forgive us if we leave you now, sir, but we have to see the hospital secretary about St. Hernia's central heating.
We've inspected the whole system. It's in an awful mess. The main pipe in the basement's cracked.
If you don't leave me alone, Lamb, there'll be a crack in your basement.
Oh.
Good grief, you've eaten all my grapes.
Not all of them, sir. There are 2 small ones left at the bottom.
Come along, too. We'll go and give them some expert advice on the central heating. Now, which way is the hospital secretary's office, I wonder?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't expect to find you in here, Dr. Keene.
Yes, I've borrowed the office for an hour while the secretary's out, and I've some paperwork to do.
I'm not surprised.
That civil servant, Sir Gregory Pitkin, I don't like the look of him.
I hate the sight of him. Ill-tempered brute.
Yes, I meant I'm rather concerned about his condition. Oh, it's only a broken leg, but he seems in permanent shock.
Yes.
As he's a top ministry man, the authorities are getting a bone expert in to look at his whole case.
Oh, I see, yes.
We'll treat Sir Gregory according to this specialist's advice.
Very good, Dr. Keene. And now, if you'll excuse me, I must go and get the beds remade. Some of the patients have been moving about.
Nurse Todd, perhaps you could make some tea when this bone expert gets here. Ah, there's someone coming now.
Oh, is this the hospital secretary's office?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, I hope I'm not late. I've been in the ward with Sir Gregory Pitkin.
Ah, you're the expert, are you? And you've already made your examination?
Yes, we've studied the file and inspected the break. Oh, this is my colleague here, Mr. Lamb, by the way.
How do you do?
2 of you, eh? Oh, well, gentlemen, I'm glad you're here. What advice can you offer?
Well, it's a nasty crack.
It's a bad break, isn't it?
Yeah, but we don't think it's all that serious in itself. We suggest you hold it together with sticky tape.
Sticky tape, yes, and get it back into use right away.
Sticky tape?
I'm glad you agree.
We're more concerned with the overall condition. In our opinion, the whole system's in an awful mess.
As bad as that? Oh, shocking. All the joints we looked at were loose. Oh, yes. And many essential pipes are hopelessly furred.
Well, I've no idea. Things were so serious. What can we do?
You could try lagging round the bottom.
Lagging?
Plenty of stout wadding up all apertures.
Well, if you insist.
But before you do that, you'd better insert a long-handled brush. Clear out all the clogged tubes.
Then just flush out and seal up the cracks.
Yes. And if that doesn't work, forget it.
Forget it? But we can't.
I mean, the trouble is the geezer's much too old. He shouldn't have been allowed to go on as long as this.
Yes, I'm very sorry to say that my colleague's right. The old boiler's had it. Yes, if the patch-up job doesn't work, I'm afraid it's the knacker's yard. We've got to be ruthless.
Look, gentlemen, if you'll forgive me, I'd like to make a quick phone call before we discuss this any further.
Oh, yes, by all means. You carry on, yes.
Yes, I don't think he's realized that the problem's quite so serious.
Hello. This is Dr. Keene. Yes, I've got 2 men here posing as doctors. One looks mad, and the other is mad. Send down a couple of strong male nurses and a pair of straitjackets, and ask Dr. Campbell from the psychiatric unit to come here at once.
Nurse.
Yes, Dr. Campbell.
The psychiatric unit tell me you've got 2 men here who may be lunatics.
Yes, Dr. Campbell. They're both in there, still in their straitjackets, but we've given them sedatives.
Oh, fine, Lassie, fine. I'll go in and test them. You can tell Sister Nightingale to come and see me, will you?
Yes, sir.
Hello, gentlemen. Now, I'm Dr. Campbell, and I'm here to help you. And I don't want you to worry about anything. Don't ramble, Campbell. Just tell us why we've been kept in this room.
And why we're wearing these funny jackets.
The nurse said they were to keep us warm, but I'm not entirely convinced. No, just relax. And I want you to tell me why you came to St. Hernier's today.
Well, for one thing, there was the rhubarb.
What's that? Oh, yes, of course. The rhubarb. But I'm told you showed an interest in one of the patients.
Well, in a way, we felt guilty. What with the ballet going to Bangkok and the woman getting big boots and the boilermen taking the pill.
Oh, come along, man. We all feel guilty about these things. We have to learn to accept them. Yes. Well, that's what we're always telling him, but he flies into these rages. I mean, that's where the trouble starts. Nervous tension, you see. You're anxious to contribute to medical matters. I have some medical knowledge, yes. I fall back on goose grease. Goose grease, that's what I fall back on. Goose grease? Oh, goose grease, yes, naturally. Oh, nuts. They're worse than I thought.
We can't stay here, you know. There's so many problems, apart from the Ballet Liberty and the pamphlets and that fool O'Toole. It's obvious something's cracked, and then there's the pipes, you see, in the family planning, and there may not be enough sticky tape to go round.
I think that explains everything, Doctor. Oh, indeed.
You wanted to see me, Dr. Camp.
Come in, Sister Nightingale. We shall have to certify these two men at once. They're quite unbalanced.
These two? They're the two men from the ministry who were nosing round here earlier, checking the central heating.
They're from the ministry? Oh, dear me. Then they're entitled to be unbalanced. Yes, well, I suppose we shall have to let them go.
Mr. Lamb, what an awful experience. Oh, you must be glad to be back in the office. You won't go to that hospital again in a hurry.
Oh, we'll have to, Mildred. Sir Gregory looks forward to our visits.
Yes, I raided the petty cash and bought him some bananas. Nearly £1/2.
No, Sir Gregory's left for earlier, sir. They let him out. Wasn't a broken leg after all, just a bad sprain. He's got some plaster on, and he's hobbling around on crutches.
Oh, that is good news. We can eat the bananas ourselves.
Yes, all right, too, but don't throw the skin on the floor. Someone might step on it.
Don't worry, I'll pick it up when I go to lunch.
Anything happened while we were away, Mildred?
The Arts Council rang. You should have sent that ballet company to Kingston Town Hall.
Well, we did.
Kingston-on-Thames. You sent them to Kingston, Jamaica.
Oh, glory.
Thank heavens it's only public money.
The Arts Council say you better find them a London hall to dance in.
That's easy. The new Hampstead Theatre's free. I read about it in the paper. We'll send the company there.
Well done, too. Well done there.
Thank you.
Write to them at once, Mildred, and confirm it, will you? That wasn't too serious, was it?
No, sir.
No.
But there was one other little mix-up.
Oh?
It seems you had to supply St. Ernia's with some new equipment for the surgeons under Mr. Gardner.
Yes, well, we sent the... Surgeons? Mr. Gardner?
Yeah.
I thought they wanted equipment for the gardeners.
Oh, that explains it. The surgeons are a bit upset because they were expected to do their operations with scythes and spades.
Oh, dear. Are the doctors very angry?
Yeah, and some of the patients are a bit cut up and all.
Yeah, so let's just hope that Sir Gregory doesn't hear about this. Oh, silly of me to say that, really. Come in, Sir Gregory.
Hold the door, will you?
Sorry about your crutch, Sir Gregory, and it's awful to see you plastered.
Don't say anything, Lamb. Just let me say my piece and go.
Very well, sir.
St. Hernias are short of an operating theatre.
Indeed, sir. Yes.
One of their surgeons was about to remove an appendix when he was handed a pick and shovel. He was so furious he flung them through the window and then smashed the place up.
Oh, dear me. Well, it sounds as if there's been some incompetence somewhere.
They've a special operating session tomorrow night when top European doctors are to watch a British surgeon at work. Find a hospital that has a spare theatre and let them know at once.
Leave it to us, Sir Gregory. We've a list of facilities here.
Well, mind there are no slip-ups. Open the door for me.
Yes,
Thanks, Brown.
of course, sir. Certainly, sir. Splendid that you're out of hospital, sir.
We were coming to visit you, sir, and we bought you some bananas.
Oh, that reminds me, there's a skin on the floor somewhere. Watch how you go, son. You don't want to...
Yeah!
Slip on it.
Oh, dear.
Poor Sir Gregory. Let me plump up your pillars for you.
Cheer up, sir. At least you haven't any more legs to break.
Oh, did you have to get me into this ward?
Well, sir, we sensed that you weren't happy in that maternity ward.
I'm even less happy here. This is the geriatric ward.
Perhaps they think you've hurt your geriatric.
Well, never mind, Sir Gregory. We have good news on the work front. Now, they wanted an operating theatre for tonight, didn't they?
Fortunately, one of the city hospitals is able to help. St. Vitus's. We've arranged for the operation to take place there.
Well, thank heavens you got something right. Ah, here's Dr. Keene. Hello, Doctor.
Good evening, Sir Gregory.
Hello, Doctor. You remember us?
I remember you two like I remember my first case of poisoning.
Oh, thank you.
I'm leaving now, Sir Gregory. I have to assist one of our surgeons. He's operating in front of some European doctors.
No, so I heard. My people found him a theatre.
Yes, and quite handy, too. It shouldn't take long to get up to Hampstead. But I'll have to dash. I'm late already.
Good chap, that. Always warms his hands before examining you. Just a minute. Did he say Hampstead?
Yeah, Hampstead, that's right.
But you said you'd found an operating theatre in the city.
Yes, at St. Vitus's. But something's happening at Hampstead.
You sent that ballet company to the Hampstead Theatre.
That's not what you told me, Mr. Lamb. You said that was the theatre for the operating team.
Good grief. Mildred, you haven't mixed up the theatres. The Hampstead audience are expecting to watch a ballet.
I think I'll take a spot of leave once.
Stay where you are. There are doctors in the city waiting to watch an operation, and you've switched the performers.
Welcome to Look Out, our magazine of the arts and sciences. At the Hampstead Theatre tonight, the newly formed Ballet Liberty began a season of original ballets based on Greek legends. Our critic, Harold Hobhouse.
How can one start to describe what we saw at the Hampstead Theatre tonight? I've never seen anything like it. A card at the side of the stage gave us the ballet's title, the single word tonsillectomy. No doubt the name of some ancient Greek goddess. The dancers wore long robes and masks, almost like surgeons. Clearly a return to the early days of classical drama, and it was enthralling to see the ritual chanting of ancient Greek phrases like scalpel, scalpel, and swab, swab. A truly enthralling experience. Small wonder that a packed house gave the performers a huge ovation as they moved on to their encore, a bold new piece called Appendectomy. An evening which I can only describe as enthralling.
Thank you, Harold Hobhouse. You'd better sit down now. And so to the first of our science items. A party from the European Medical Assembly were at St. Vitus's Hospital this evening to watch new operating techniques practiced by the eminent British surgeon, Mr. Lance Freely. Our science correspondent, James Simpleton, reports.
I think the European doctors were surprised by what they saw at St. Vitus's. I know I was. For a start, Mr. Freely's team have discarded the traditional operating theatre garb, and instead they wear tunics and tights. And they move around on tiptoe, no doubt to avoid waking the patient. Mr. Freely seems also to have rejected the knife in favour of some sort of faith healing. As the patient lay on a slab, 6 girls danced around him, occasionally placing garlands of flowers round his podium. And eventually he rose and joined them. Indeed, he grabbed one of the nurses in the sort of embrace you can't normally get on the National Health. So it seems that surgery is out and dance therapy is in. Afterwards, I asked one of the team if we'd witnessed a big breakthrough, and he said that we might have done, as his tights had split.
I don't believe it, Lennox Brown. I don't see how it can possibly have been a success.
Sir Gregory, please, don't try to get out of business. No. Now, it is a success. The European medical people were highly impressed. They saw a patient cured by dance therapy and free movement.
They want to pump money into our health service to enable us to develop dance therapy.
Dance therapy rubbish.
It's true, sir. They believe it can be used to cure anything.
They're trying it out in selected hospitals.
Come along, Sir Gregory. Get out of that bed, man.
Can't get out of bed, sister. One leg's sprained and the other one's broken.
Nonsense. You only think they are. Now I'll help you up.
Oh.
We're going to practice the new dance therapy.
Let me go. I can't dance in this condition.
Of course you can, man. Now here we go. And a 1, 2, 3, hop.
Oh, look out, Sir Gregory. The floor's highly polished. You might just fall over.
Oh, dear. He has fallen over.
Oh, glory.
We better run a bit. He's still got one good arm.
Yes.
When I get up, I'll change it again.
Taking a turn for the nurse as the men from the ministry were Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Also featured were Norma, Ronald, Ronald Baddiley and John Graham. The programme was written by Edward Taylor and John Graham and produced by Edward Taylor.